Hey, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Tazman's AI Dungeon. From the ground up, I don't remember. But anyway, AI Dungeon's good enough. So in our last episode, we went into more advanced things with controlling. What did I call it? I can't remember, but where we can actually control the flow of the story and stuff like that. We talked about some more advanced things, and we're even going to talk about a little bit more today. But before we do that, I just want to say I think I figured out what the issue was that we were having with our other things. So we were adding into the plot. I don't know if I left it here. I think I did. Yeah. So if the player tries to cast a spell that is not found in the spell book, the spell will fizzle out. And because we have it saying, actually no, that's whenever I say I cast, it's gonna load. Oh, actually, all right, hold on. I'm actually showing you the solution. So putting it in the AI part actually seems to have helped it. So I've created a new scenario because I think there might be an extra thing to this also that I wanted to mention, and that's why I actually created a brand new one with Princess, and I called it Arya in this case. And you can see it's only 2 actions in, which technically is its own things, I guess. It's technically I haven't done anything. But what I've done here, as you can see, is in the AI thing, I said if a player tries to cast a spell that is not found in their spell book's spell list, the spell will fizzle out and fail. Now, it's not 100%. I will tell you that right up front, but I actually did get it to work like it was before. I'm not sure if what changes they made in one of the last changes to the AI and stuff before they released the extra engines or models. I keep calling them engines. Um, that might have caused it because it used to work fine in the plot details or the plot thing. What's it called? What's it called? The plot essentials. So I have that here. And then what I've done is I have Arya's spellbook. Obviously, it needs to be Arya because this is a different person. And in here, this is purely just testing things and seeing what worked. So I just said, this is Arya's spellbook. Now remember, one very important thing is none of this information or this information down here is actually passed to the AI. Only this information here. So if I were to say in this spell book or, something like that, or if this was talking about a specific character and then just say, she has blue hair and so on and so forth. AI has absolutely no clue who she is referring to because it doesn't know any of this and it doesn't know any of the stuff down there. All it knows is this, which is being passed to it. So when it says she, it might even be thinking you. It could be thinking one of the characters that are around you. It doesn't know. So you always, at least the first time, if it's a character, you want to say the character's name has blue eyes or blue hair and green eyes, and they have this personality or whatever. You want to have at least a mention of that. So this seems to work for me, where as you can see, it says, and watch, it's not going to work because I'm recording now. That's my luck. But let's see if it actually works. Please work. So as you can see here, we can say this is Arya's spellbook. It contains a list of spells that you know and can cast. You can find different verbiage than that. Maybe you can find better verbiage. If you do, let me know. I'd love to know. And then once again, I don't know specifically how AI really interprets brackets. I've been doing experimenting with other people's scenarios, and sometimes they have square brackets, sometimes they have no brackets, sometimes they have uh, curly braces. I don't think I've seen anyone just having it in parentheses, but I have seen square brackets and curly braces and nothing. Um, and I don't know. I My logical mind wants to say that this might tell the AI that what is within these two brackets would be a grouping of some sort. So my logic is saying there's a grouping of some sort, and then this first part here with the colon, which signifies, hey, there's going to be a list after this. this is what type of grouping it is. And then we actually have our grouping after. So we have Firebolt and Ice Knife. So hopefully when I try and cast Cloud of Daggers, Mage Hand, anything that's not in this tiny list, it will actually work properly. The other thing I think I found is if where I was experimenting with Camille, I think it was, um, it seems like if I cast something and it rendered it, so to speak, where I cast Cloud of Daggers or something like that, before I had this verbiage in there, and then I tried casting it again, even though it's not in my spell book, because I cast it at least once and there's a reference, or in the memory there's some kind of reference to casting it, all of a sudden it will do it. So that's why I actually did a brand new fresh one. So we're going to try this now and just really, really hope it works right. Because it did in my testing. It finally did in my testing, saying that the spell fizzled out. So please don't don't do me wrong, computer. All right, so I'm going to say I cast, which is our things in here. If we look, I said it if I say I cast or you cast, because like I said, I'm not 100% sure where the AI actually will look up the keyword. So why not just include both? Whether it's where I'm actually doing it and it registers and then says, oh, I cast, or if it's where the AI is translating this to a ucast and then it looks it up that way. I really don't care that much as long as it works. So I'm going to say I cast and let's do CLU. Now, another thing I was thinking is Cloud of Daggers, because it's a whole phrase, Cloud of Daggers, 3 words. I wasn't 100% sure if it's saying I cast Cloud and then that will fell, and it doesn't necessarily know Cloud of Daggers. It seems to be smart enough though to do that. Now, one thing I wanted to try, and this might screw everything up, but if maybe we didn't put it in double quotes because it looks at that as saying something, but it seems like a single quote doesn't always register that you're talking to someone. So if I say Daggers, I really hope this works. This might mess it up. I don't know. But I want it to know that that is an actual phrase. I'm not casting Cloud of Daggers. I don't know. So please work. Oh, I'm really nervous. It worked in my testing multiple times. My luck will be for you guys is not going to do it. But let's check. Please work. Sitting on the edge of my seat. You raise your hands, whispering the incantation for Cloud of Daggers. Magic crackles at your fingertips, and for a moment you feel a familiar rush of power, but then the spell falters mid-cast. Your hands tingle oddly, the magic sputtering and dying out with oh, it worked, guys, it worked. uh there we go. The magic sputtering and dying out without materializing. The words of power slip from your lips like wet sand through fingers, leaving only a faint metallic I don't know why it's metallic in your mouth. The knight who brought the news stares, I don't even know who this guy is, with confusion before returning his gaze to the chaos outside. He doesn't seem to notice or care that you failed to cast a spell. He's far too preoccupied with the battle raging beyond these walls. So now that seemed to actually work, where it says yes, that is not in the book. Now let's double check and see if, say, Firebolt or Ice Knife works. And now he'll probably get mad at me going, what you doing? Why are you firing that at me? So I'm going to do I cast. Sorry, I'm a little particular there. So I cast, and I'm going to do Firebolt. Now, technically, this wouldn't have to be. And like I said, I don't think the Cloud of Daggers had to be in quotes, or single quote. But visually for me, I think it works better. So I cast Firebolt. Don't know at who, but let's just see if it works. Please don't sputter out. All right, come on, let's see. We're seeing it forming. All right, you focus your will, channeling the familiar heat of Firebolt into your hands. Magic surges through you, and the air crackles with energy. With a flick of your wrist, uh, a brilliant crackling bolt of fire lances from your fingertips, streaking towards the nearest elf. Oh boy, who has entered the hallway outside. I hope they're bad. Well, I think this one said it's the elves are attacking, so it must be bad. So, yeah, so anyway, who has entered the hallway outside your chambers? The elf is fast, unnaturally so. He sees the firebolt coming, pivots, allowing it to pass just wide of his torso. The spell sears the wooden paneling. So there you go. It actually worked. Let's see if we can do. Looks like he swore at us. Let's see if we can do our ice knife. It was ice knife, right? Not frostbolt. Yeah, ice knife. So let's try iCast. And we'll do ice knife. ICE-KNIFE. Let's go and we'll do it without that because this is technically the two words. Like I said, I think it's still going to recognize it as the spell is the whole thing. Probably should put a period at the end of that since it is a sentence. And there I go again with my I having to be capitalized. Let's see if an ice bolt can hit him. You extend your hand, muttering the incantation for ice knife. So you can see it still does it. I kind of like it having the single quotes though still. Frost crystallizing along your fingertips as the spell manifests, a jagged shard of ice forming in your palm. In the air, the air grows colder around you as you take aim at the elf who narrowly avoided your firebolt. The elf snarls and lunges forward, closing the distance in a blur of golden armor and blackened cloak. His movements are inhumanly precise. Before you can release the ice, I guess we didn't get it off. He's already inside. Uh, He's already inside your guard. A dagger appears in his hand, the blade glinting. I guess we might die. He drives it towards your stomach. You twist sharply. The dagger scrapes past your ribs, leaving a shallow gash. Well, we could die. Because in this PG-13, what was it called? Is it called Everyone? I can't remember what it's called. In our different gameplay modes, in our safety portion here, if you're not in safe, if you're moderate or mature, you can actually die. You can get wounded and stuff from the other ones, but I was reading more information and you can actually definitely die in both of these. So there's that for you. So who knows? We could actually bleed out now. Our guts come gushing out of our belly. So that seemed to work okay. So now what I want to do is show you some more things because the AI itself can give you a lot more information. I don't think I've actually gone over this. I might have in one of my videos I scrapped, or maybe I talked about it a tiny bit before. But I'm so glad that at least seemed to work properly here. We failed to do our cloud of daggers. I could try and heal myself. Let's see if we can heal ourselves. Well, this will be the last test. So uppercase I, cast heal on my SELF. And he's going to come around with his dagger and jam it in my temple. All right. Let's see. Come on, sputter out for me, please. You press a hand to your side, feeling warm trickle of blood soaking through your dress. You speak the words of the healing spell, reaching for the power within you. Magic flows through you, cold and steady, and a soft golden. No, don't do it. The wound stings. Maybe it's not considered a spell. I don't know. It knitting itself closed. I shouldn't have done it. It looked like everything was working. Like I said, it's not flawless. There might be better verbiage, and if you can figure it out, let me know. You should have sputtered out because I don't have it. Else text back, blah blah blah. He twists his dagger between his fingers, studying you, but not well enough. All right, well, it kind of worked. At least it kind of worked. Unfortunately, healing spell didn't work quite right. But like I said, it's really interesting. I haven't figured it completely out. So here's the next thing. This is the thing I want to talk about today is you can get more information from the AI. And I'm trying to think the best place to actually do this. We could do it with our Princess Camille because she's actually been with this guy for a little while. Well, no, we're only 6 actions in. I keep erasing it. Uh, but what we can do, for example, because now we have a spell book, something like that. I feel like I might have done this. I just don't remember. So if we go into story, we can also inquire of the AI to give us information. So I could say something like, what do I know about, who is this guy? Sir Thomas? Sir Thomas. Is it with an H? T-H-O? Thomas. Thomas. And then put a question mark on there. So if you do it as a story, normally this would try and add it as part of the actual story where you're modifying the actual story's flow. So here you can see that now we can get more information about him. Sir Thomas is a veteran knight, in his mid-40s, stern, honorable man who served. So if I'm generating a card about Sir Thomas, this is an excellent thing that you can do. Um, and sometimes, like if you're having it show a list, uh, you you can actually hit continue and it will continue that list. Sometimes it'll jump back into the story and get a little confused itself. If you do a retry, it might actually pick back up, but other times it doesn't. So one thing I could do, let's say I think, well, Sir Thomas is going to be with me for a while. I want to go ahead and create a a card for him. So I'm going to do a Control C right there to copy that. Then I'm going to go create a card for him. So we're going to go up here, go character. We're going to call it Sir Thomas. Down here, we're going to do a space and then Sir Thomas. And I just like to keep everything, because case doesn't matter down here. I do like that. I'm not going to do just Thomas, uh, because if I run into someone named Thomas, then all of a sudden it will trigger this one. So this should only trigger if Sir Thomas is actually mentioned. Now I can hit finish really quick, come in here again, hit edit, and then go grab his information. He is a probably to hear the knight has always been particularly protective since your child. That might also be good. We can also, this might actually run in more, so we can actually check. But what you find out is, if I hit continue, it might give us more information or it might jump back to the story. So we'll definitely be able to see that. So yeah, this definitely went back to the story. So I'm going to hit erase there. And technically I like, so it's not in the actual story, I can actually hit erase there and erase there to get rid of that. What do I know about Sir Thomas? Then I can come in here and hit paste for all that information. Now, as you can see, it recommends, I've seen him, like I've said when I was talking about story cards, you can go higher. It seems to accept it, doesn't seem to do anything bad with it, but I like to kind of trim this down. Now, once again, if I were to just paste this like this, it has absolutely no idea who this is talking about. It could be an enemy that I'm looking at other than this part down here. The knight has always been particularly protective of you. So if it's an enemy, that's not going to be the case. So what you want to do here is go ahead and maybe take this again. Oh, Control Z. Take this and put it down here. Hit V, and then maybe even here say Sir Thomas, and then just kind of fix it up a little bit. Now, the best thing to do, it doesn't have to be full sentences, but just so you know, like as you can see with this but here, if I hit enter, that enter counted as a character. So this is all part of that token economy that you're being charged in order to do stuff. So if we come in here, get rid of that A. So we could say Sir Thomas is a veteran knight in his mid-40s. That's probably fine. maybe change this to, we could leave it a stern but honorable man. Uh, Maybe you want to know that he served the royal family for nearly 2 decades. If you don't think that's important to the actual who he is for you, then you could take that out. That actually kind of seems like he's a very loyal man. He's not new to your family. He's been around. So then we have he's known for his loyal and pragmatism qualities. So maybe that's fine. Qualities that have earned him respect. That one I don't think I care about as much. So I'm just going to go up to the little period there, get rid of that. You've watched him train recruits in the courtyard and witnessed his precise. So maybe instead of I've watched him, I would say more that, let's just start here and say he is he is precise. He is a Maybe he is a precise, methodical. That doesn't make sense. And then we could get rid of this. So anyway, you can, and we're not going to necessarily go and do all this. So anyway, so let's see. His precise, methodical, and maybe here say, uh, and has great or something like that. Great swordsmanship. He never boasts about his skill, but his reputation, I don't really care about that. So I'll just go ahead and get rid of that part. And then once again, this is actually counting against my numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete and bring that up, saying, and here I might even say Sir Thomas again. I don't know if it's on my clipboard. There we go. So Sir Thomas has always been particularly protective of you since your childhood. So something like that, just so that the AI now can say, okay, this is Sir Thomas. So you can do it with that. You can do it with characters you meet. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but you can also, say things. If we do a story, we might say, what is Sir THO? Should probably do this uppercase because I'm me. Sir THOMA Thomas's first name. And sometimes it'll come back saying, well, actually, that's never been mentioned. And sometimes it will generate it. Other times you might try and come back in here and have it generate it. Doesn't always work. Once again, it's all about the verbiage. So if we do this, I'm sure it's going to say, he's too new to the story. He doesn't have a name. Sir Thomas is known as Thomas of Blackwood. So I guess that is his first name. So we could say Sir Thomas Blackwood then, right? Dun, dun, dun. So this gives you, and this could even be a little more info that we want to put in there. So I'm going to go add it just at least Sir Thomas Blackwood is what I'll do in here. So I'm going to do Sir Thomas B Lackwood. And maybe in here as well, just so that the AI remembers it. Blackwood. I am never going to call him Sir Thomas Blackwood. So there's really no reason for me to put Sir Thomas Blackwood or just Blackwood down here, because I would probably always call him Sir Thomas or Thomas, but probably mostly Sir Thomas as a thing of respect. He's been in my family forever. Looks like I have a weird carriage return there. So there we go. So here we have that. Some other things you can do that I've done, when I've done the story and I'm generating a spell book, is I might come in here. Let's see, I got rid of the Thomas part, right? Yes, I did. All right, so I might do something saying, what SPE spells do I know? And this would actually come, in this case, I don't know it's necessarily going to invoke my spell book because I didn't type I cast, right? So it might just grab a bunch of spells from out of the thin air. Um, and then I might run into that thing where, oh, and it might even be that the spells that are in this list, heal might be in there, and that's why it allowed me to heal. Because when it generated my character and stuff, it might have thought of that or something. I don't know. Or these are default ones that it usually does. So if we do this, it might give us a numbered list, which I've seen in some cases. Actually, it's giving us one just like this. So as you can see here, it says you're aware of the magical knowledge at your disposal. So it says I know minor illusion, minor warding, purify water, minor healing. There's our healing. Minor shield, dispel magic, minor fire, a lot of minor stuff. Minor earth, minor air, minor ice. I don't know what those ones are. The spells are all low level, focused on utility and basic protection. You've never been taught offensive magic. So you can get information about your character, the way that it's generating for you. Let's say, for example, in this case, I don't know who my mom and dad are. I just know I'm Princess Camille. I technically don't even know my own last name. So I could actually say things like, uh, let's see if this will work. Who is my father? Mather. And it has the story. We're at 26 minutes. We need to end it up here. So Sir Thomas C, in this case, it's kind of working in so it's looking like I'm saying this as me. And maybe I could say, what do I know about my father or something? But let's see if it actually gives him a name. Queen, your mother, she's more tender-hearted. Let's try retry. Maybe see if it uses it. Your father, King James the Wise. So apparently, my last name is the Wise. No. All right, so that's not doing what I want. So we might have to kind of experiment. Maybe let's try, what do I know about my father? What is his last name? Maybe kind of add two things in there. So what do I know about my father? Fatter. And maybe actually just do it as one question and say, what is his name? So in the case before I said, who is my father or whatever I did, it was looking at that saying, oh yeah, that could be part of the story. In this case, what do I know about my father? I think it would look at that and just say, that doesn't sound like it's part of the story. They're actually asking me something. I'm going to try and see if I have any info on it. Your father is King Louis. He's no longer James of Larion. So is it King Louis? Is that his first name? I think. A man known for his wisdom. He's in his 50s, thick beard. So once again, this gives me great stuff for creating him a card. The king's fond of hunting. You've seen him break down in private. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if we hit continue, if it does the story or if it continues my question. Maybe I should say, instead of his name, say, what is my father's full name? Oh, that's probably what I need to do. All right, let's try that. We'll go up here. So you can actually come back up here, and instead of, deleting this, we can actually just modify this as well, and say, what is, let's say, my FATHER father's full name. I'm trying to get it to do one of two things. One is tell us his name, or two, say, that hasn't been generated yet, to see if we can get it to do it. We're going on 30 minutes, so I want to kind of end this quickly. Your father is King Robert. Once again, it changed. Now, the reason it's changing is because I've never committed by hitting enter another time. And making it so that, oh, it's generating new stuff, and now this is actually sealed in. So King Robert is that fourth? of Larion, a man known for his calculated pragmatism, strict adherence protocol. He ascended the throne after a brief civil war, securing it through. So it's not giving me his full name that I want. Let's try and... Is there another way? I wonder if I said like generate a full name for my father, if it would do. Oh, I did that as a period. I don't know if that would have done it. GNER, generate a full name. Whoops. For my... Yeah, that one doesn't need anything. All right, let's see if that'll do it. Not take a turn, sorry. Continue. Oh, man, my 4 is spaced weird. I don't know if that's going to screw it up. Your father is King Richard of Larion. Yeah, but what's his full name? King Richard Quagmire. I don't know. Let's see. Let's hit... I don't know if this 4, because it's not... It definitely wouldn't look at this and know what Ermi is. So let's try... I'm really bad at typing, if you haven't noticed. In all the different videos, teaching programming, all that stuff, I'm just not very good at typing. So let's do this last one. If it works, if it doesn't, we're going to go ahead and end it. I just want to... King Edward IV Blackwood. Isn't that who Arya was too? Blackwood? No, that was the knight guy was Blackwood. No, wait a minute. That's this guy. He's my uncle. I don't know. So in this case, maybe I wouldn't want Blackwood, or maybe I want to change him to something else if I like Blackwood. But it is kind of funny that this is him. But anyway, there you go. We're going to go ahead and call this a good for the episode. It kind of worked. I'm a little sad that the healing didn't fizzle out like it should have. But it kind of gatekeeps it a little bit, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. Tell other people about my channel. Join my Discord. And that's it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.